Everybody, I'm Ben.
Ram.
Welcome back to the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4 Kids anime to the Funimation dub, sometimes sub, and throw in comparisons to the manga. Uh, we're back today for episode 61 of the podcast, also episode 61 of the 4 Kids anime. Do you know what episode we are on in the Funimation?
It should be just episode 93.
Wow, okay, so we're episode 93 in the Funimation. So that's crazy. Before we get into the episode, what's been going on with you and what's been going on with One Piece?
Oh man, a lot like in the manga and anime space, the anime. The anime is kind of going through the Onigashima. It's basically the fighting portion of the Wano arc. It's still ongoing. Some fights have ended. Certain announcements are going to be made. They're not made yet. Um, one of the big players is done with his fight. So it the thing is, despite that, there is still so much that needs to happen, especially this one big scene that everyone's waiting on. Everyone thinks it'll happen this year, but because of the slow pacing of this arc, people don't think. I actually thought it was gonna happen at the start of next year. I thought they were going to pace it well so that this scene happens at the first weekend of 2024. But seeing where they are, and it may still be that, like, some people think that because of how much they stretch out the episode, and this is why a lot of people who read the One Piece manga don't watch the anime, is because the pacing is so bad, is because certain scenes are stretched out. Like one episode only captures each chapter is generally around 15 to 18 pages, and it's gotten to a point where they stretch it out so much that one episode may capture like 10 pages. Like, it's insane how much they stretch stuff out. um Partly because it is like a weekly anime, so if they were to pick up the pace, they'll get caught up and they need to do like filler arcs for all that. But it's like there's so like the manga is so far away. I don't know why they're doing this, but hey, I mean, it is what they're doing. They do want to. It's just, I don't know, man. Some of the staring scenes, some of the pauses that they give, I'm just like, the pauses don't need to wait as long as they are right now, like I wish they weren't. But that's just how the anime is, how it is. So yeah, I mean, the anime is going through that. The animation is still top tier. Like the animation company they're using right now is really great, still top tier. I think one of the episodes, because I stopped watching for like a little bit, but one of the episodes I did watch, like the direction, like the director did a really good job. So I, kudos off to them. But yeah, regarding the manga, oh man, like Oda is juggling so many different stories right now. Like characters, so I'll put it this way: a character that is introduced, that has already been introduced, um, and characters that are about to be introduced, and we're still in the 100s in terms of the anime, both for kids and Funimation, and like it's in like the 100s in the manga. They're now being shown in the manga all the way in the 1000s. Like, it's nuts. Um, and yeah, like just because of this, I when the original plan for the One Piece manga was supposed to be like a 5-year run, but Oda really liked it that he just kept expanding on things. So it makes me wonder if because this character is being referenced all the way here, maybe there was a shortened, condensed version, but then he just kind of went ham and started adding a bunch of stuff, So it's exciting times. Granted, this is uh, like part of the spoilers for this upcoming chapter. As far as the chapter, well, like actually, this character was actually referenced in the last chapters that were already released. So a lot of great stuff is going on, and it's exciting. And regarding the live action, um, there seems to be some trouble. So Oda put out a statement regarding the live action, where he stated that he would only he wanted to do the live action, all of it during. It sounded so weird. It sounded so ominous. He's like, uh, I want to do this live action during my lifetime, and we're gonna do it my way, and we're only gonna release it when I'm satisfied with it and stuff. And he says everyone is in sync, so it kind of makes me wonder, like, is this series gonna go past one season? I think what's gonna happen is that the first season of One Piece will be released, and then I think it'll be canceled because I think there's like some creative differences and some struggle with that going on. So I don't think I, I don't think One Piece will last past one season. Oda said that the first season will only be released once he is satisfied with it. The thing is, they already shot, like, the actors have said that they completed shooting the scenes. So it's just, all the animation that needs to go in. Granted, I mean, I don't really know how much, like, stuff that they need to do, because the first arc isn't as goofy as, like, the second arc and so on. Oh, saga. First saga isn't as goofy as the second arc and so on. So because he did state that the anime will only, sorry, the live action will only be released once he's satisfied. I mean, I think they're going to release the first season, but unless the first season is like an enormous success, um, I don't think there will be a second season. Wait, did Cowboy Bebop finish releasing all the episodes of the first season?
They did because I thought, yeah, they did, but it got canceled. Like right, it got canceled. Like within like 3 weeks. I feel like
I think that's what's gonna happen with One Piece, only because
if it comes out, dude. If he says he's not satisfied with it, they may just try to do it as like a tax write off and then just never put it out.
maybe because, like, just some people think that, okay, now everything is fine, and it's all good, and they're working in sync now, because Oda did state that, like, we're all in sync about how this is going to run going forward and stuff. But I just feel like the fact that, because before, when he talked about the live action, it wasn't like it wasn't as detailed as this one. Like, in the prior stuff that he said about the live action, he's like, "Hey, great stuff are in the works. I'm really excited about the live action. Hey, I'm really excited about the cast." It was just like small little blurbs. But this is the first time when he said that, there's been a lot of creative differences between the he talked about how he didn't know if the live action is going to work when it's being done by a production company that's not Japanese. And I felt I felt tension in that letter, even though he did state at the very end that, like, everyone in the production and him, everyone is good, everyone is in sync, and we're all running in sync now. Even though he did put that at the very end to, I guess, like, calm everyone, I still think that there is a lot of, like, creative tension, and yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen past this first season. I think the first season's going to go out, whether it's good or not. I think that's it. I don't think they're going to do a second season. Um, yeah,
Well, he does
I
say at the end of the letter they're in the final process right now of finishing all 8 episodes.
yeah, but I no, just seeing this, it feels like a lot's been going on.
You think they're gonna do reshoots?
I, I
Has
think
a
actors are
Netflix
still
show
moving.
ever had reshoots?
Not sure. I mean, well, so the Jordan, the Bulls, the '90s Bulls, uh, documentary, right? That was on Netflix.
Yeah,
Like, it made that popular Jordan meme where it's like, I took that personally kind of meme.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I saw that during 2020.
yeah. Well, during since they were doing weekly releases, um, around like the first or second episode, the one of the main producers of the documentary, he went on a podcast or something doing an interview, and he talked about how he was still working on like episode 7 and episode 8 of the documentary, even though they shot this documentary back in 1998. Like during that final this was actually a documentary that like they decided to shoot way back when. Apparently, word is that the all the cameras were following the Bulls on what would be their last run. And then they finally, I guess, I guess that project fell dead for a
Yeah, but there
while, and
was
then they brought that back.
but the interviews were new.
Yeah. The interviews were new, but like a lot of the behind the scenes
Yeah.
in the locker room, all that
Yeah.
was apparently like something they filmed during that season. But I guess like they never bothered releasing that documentary, or something happened, or they didn't do it. And then this guy, I guess, picked it up and they started doing it. But yeah, when the documentary was being released, he said that he is still working on some production for the last like episode 7, episode 8, even though like the show episode by episode is already starting to get released. So maybe it is one of those things where I don't know if there needs to be reshoots, but maybe there is like stuff that they need to change. I'm not sure. I
Hmm.
just I just dude, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think since they're done filming the first season, I think they'll just show the first season. I don't think they will. I think it'll get canceled. Like Cowboy Bebop, I think it'll get canceled 3 weeks after the release. I don't think they'll do weekly releases. Yeah, I mean that letter definitely indicates that there's trouble in paradise, and yeah, I do think it's a one and done.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I don't know what episode. I don't know what episode we had this discussion on, but I never thought it was going to be successful. You were the one that was like, "Oh man, it's going to be amazing." I'm like, really?
Well, I thought it was going to be amazing because
Because
apparently
Oda's
Oda was
working on it.
heavily
Yeah.
involved, and not only that, Matt Owens, who's one of the writers, he wrote on Daredevil.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wrote on any other like anime to live action thing. So it was like it had all the right people, and it looks like they're having Oda being active in the live action. So I thought, okay, great. Like the main author of the series is going to be there. They got good writers who actually did Marvel to live action, like a cartoon magazine to live action. Because obviously Daredevil is a cartoon show, or like a comic book, kind of like One Piece. So it's like they got the writers to do the right things, and it's not going to be weird, like Matt Owens talked about how Sanji was going to be more of a flirtatious type of guy, rather than like a guy who's just going to like he's not going to have, I think he made this joke about how like Sanji's not going to have heart in his eyes, kind of thing. Like he's going to be more of like a flirt than like a guy who's like just like being a total slave. Maybe he will be, but because he is kind of introduced late into the first season. So yeah, but it's gonna be, yeah. Just that last letter just was like, so it was just it felt like they were doing the right thing. They got the author involved, and all that. The author, Oda, apparently wanted One Piece to be a live action show. Apparently he said that one of his goals was to always have One Piece be a live
Yeah.
action thing. It's just not going to happen, I guess. Like, because when anime is made into live action, especially like in Japan, like like they try to replicate the facial expressions of the anime characters, and I always thought that was a bit cringy, because it's like they can make the facial expressions in the anime because it is a cartoon show. People don't react that way. People don't talk that way. Um, So yeah, I don't know. But that letter just definitely gave me signs that okay, no, trouble's in paradise. It's not gonna last. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's been going on in the One Piece world regarding the live action, regarding the anime. A lot of big fights are done. As far as like the remaining big fights that need to be done, there is one other smaller fight, quote unquote, that needs to conclude. Um, yeah, one of the how should I say it? Well, I'll put it this way: there's like the captain fights, and then there are the lower admiral fights, or the vice captain fights. so uh, in that terminology, there is there are two captain fights that are remaining, and one of the captain fights needs this one scene. Um, and so yeah, but the other captain fight actually takes a while, so that one's actually going to go on for a while. And then there is a vice captain fight that is going on right now. Um, One of the other vice captain fights actually concluded not that long ago. Actually, recently, like 2 episodes ago, one of the vice captain fights just ended. There is still one more. Actually, there was a vice captain fight before that, but that vice captain fight wasn't like a top tier vice captain fight. It was kind of like a mid tier kind of thing. But the major one, though, is about to happen. Actually, it just concluded. One of the other major vice captain fights, it concluded like the last, not the last episode, but the episode prior. And then one of the other vice captain fights is still ongoing, and it's going to go on for at least, I want to say, 2 or 3 more episodes, because there is a bit of flashback associated with that one. I don't know when those episodes are going to be released. It's going to take that one. One of the other major captain fights, it's going to go on for a good while. And then the other major captain fight, which is, I'll say it, it's a Luffy fight. It still has a ways to go. And not only does that have a ways to go, there is another subcategory fight that is going to happen. Following that subcategory fight, there is another subcategory fight that's about to happen. And those two fights factor into the Luffy fight. So that happens, then there'll be a scene, and then there will be the last major fight, but that last major fight will only happen for an episode or two, and then you'll have a small little flashback, and then it'll be over. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, the fights are kind of coming to a closure, but there is still a ways to go. And even with that, like the anime is still so far behind the manga. Like, yeah, like the manga is so much happened. Um, like I went to a party, a friend's party recently, a friend's birthday party recently, and one of his coworker friends, he also watches and reads One Piece, and he told me where he was, and I told him that, like, and this is like after Wano, like in the next arc, two big battles have already concluded, another big battle has already started, another emerging battle is about to start. Like, there's just so much going on that it's insane. So very, very exciting times. It does feel like it's building to one of the big fights. I don't think it's leading to the big fight. Maybe it is. Some people feel that it is, but it's yeah, big stuff is happening, and new stuff is constantly being introduced. And it's like, dog, like this, the story is apparently like 88, more than 88, maybe it's like 90 something percent concluded, and new stuff is still being brought up. So yeah, a lot of exciting things are going on with One Piece regarding that. So yeah, how's it been going with you in gaming?
Uh, well, I beat the. Well, I guess it's been 5 weeks. So let me tell you every single thing I did. No. I so I've been really busy just helping Laura with her charity. She's raising money for St. Jude. And then like one of the reasons why there was a delay in this is because I've been helping out with the charity, and also too because she got invited to go to Memphis, Tennessee, to go visit the St. Jude Children's Hospital. So I took that time off and actually just like I drove her up there, and then I was just in the hotel room the whole time. But I played. I finally beat the Pokemon Scarlet game. Um, so yeah, that's what I was doing a lot of, and then after that, I haven't really been playing much. I did. I have been playing more of that Shining Force game that I streamed like a couple weeks ago. I don't remember when we were talking about One Piece. I've been playing a couple of more of that. It's there's a lot of grinding I have to do in the game to be able to beat the final boss. So I feel like that's going to take a while for me to level up all my characters.
Mm.
But that's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah, that and just working a ton. Like I'm not gonna go into much here about work, but last week I had to wake up at 6 a.m. Tuesday through Friday, so I could get to work at 8. Um,
You've been going to the office?
I had to last week. I don't think I'll be going into the office anymore. However, I'm saying that, but I might be going to the office like not this week, but maybe the week after, because we
Mm.
have some people coming in town and they're going to be sleeping in my office, which is our spare bedroom, and I don't really know if I want to wake them up at 8 a.m.
Wait. Hang on. They're gonna be going into your office? Like they're going to be going into like
No, they're going to
your
be sleeping in
coworkers
my
or like
home office.
are they your coworkers?
No,
Oh, they're just
no,
coming to
no.
visit.
Yeah, yes, I have friends that are visiting.
Oh,
Well, and
okay.
not
And they're gonna
friends.
be
I
sleeping
have
in your.
relatives that are visiting. Well, they're friends,
Oh,
but
okay,
they're
okay,
relatives. Yeah, Laura's brother.
okay. Oh, okay. So they're coming to visit, and they're gonna be sleeping in your office space. So you're thinking about going into the office
Yeah, I
that
might as
time?
well, just so I don't.
Yeah,
Because the thing is I have a meeting. I have meetings at 9 a.m. and it's just
yeah.
like I don't want to wake them up at 8, so they're out of there by And then also like I don't know. I don't want their stuff to be in the way of me.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah. So I may be going to work for a couple days, but that's it. That's about it. I mean, it was sort of required for me to come to the office for those 4 days because we're working on something together.
Okay.
Even with that being said, it was also kind of pointless. We could have just done all that over Zoom, but whatever.
Yeah. No, I feel you about that. Yeah, nice, dude. So, yeah, I mean, so yeah, I
Oh,
guess like you've
I
gotten
guess.
really accustomed to.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, it's just yeah, I was just saying that like you got really accustomed to a schedule of like working from home that it's like having to adjust to going into the office is like a throwback since it's been like what 3 years or something since we all had to start working remotely.
Yeah, and I didn't want to deal with any of the traffic or be like late to anything, so I'm just like, all right, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. I'm leaving by 6:30. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. And the traffic wasn't bad when I left. I mean, that was the nice part. If I leave at 6:30, it takes me like 40 minutes to get there
Okay.
versus like an hour to hour and 15 if I leave at 7. So,
Wait, it takes. Oh yeah. Because yeah, I mean yeah, that's like insane traffic. Where from where you have to go, yeah, it's like
yeah.
so you're really deep in. What's funny is that like you know where my current office is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my current office is like 5 minutes away from me, so it's like whatever. But um, I know someone who joined, I think, 2 weeks after I joined. He commutes all the way from where you are, and when I heard that, I'm just like, that's nuts that she commutes all the way from there.
Yeah.
Dude, like professional services people are just like especially sales and marketing, they're just like completely different from us, man. It's just yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's because engineers are more like introverted or whatever, but like yeah, it's like yeah, I don't know. Like just because like the stuff that some of the salespeople do, like it's just like yeah. I mean, I guess it just comes with like because of the position they're in, but it's like that. But yeah, like to travel that far, I was just like, dang, I thought so far from you. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I can't imagine that drive. So
No. Yeah, I think even I can't stand going over to that area now. Like that drive would be easier when I lived, at my parents' house back when they lived here.
yeah,
Um, But yeah, now from where I'm at, heck no.
Yeah, and you're about to reach your actually, yeah. Wait, did you pass your 10-year anniversary or something?
Oh no, it's coming up. Thanks for reminding me. Actually, I got to reply to the email. I do. It's been like a race. There's only like 4 people left now that still work there from when I started in my
Oh, okay,
starting
okay.
class, or whatever.
How many people are there from when I was there? Like, I
uh,
feel like there is that one mutual friend whose name starts with a K, but like, he's the only one I know there.
there's there's a couple other people. There's a couple other people.
Was my class the one that was retained the most? Because it feels like everyone, a lot of people who I joined with are still there. I mean, granted, well, so I mean, actually,
No, I
sorry.
think only one
So
person
for
is,
my
dude.
class, only one person is that one project manager, but everyone else I know for sure left.
Yeah, I don't know,
Uh,
but
yeah,
I mean, there's 4 people left that joined with me, so.
yeah. It just
Uh,
feel no, but like I think the department in general, it feels like a lot of the managers are still there. Well, maybe not a lot, but like definitely a good bit. Like K's manager, is he still there?
his old manager, yes, is still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Um. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like yeah. I do know some people who definitely left, so maybe I'm just like remembering it wrong. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you told me that like if I were to go back there, I wouldn't recognize it at all.
No, I don't
Um.
think so. I mean, like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, like, here's the thing. Put it this way: there's not a single person that was a lead in the organization that I'm a part of is a lead now. They're not even in that organization remotely. So,
Oh.
like,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that's why it would be totally different. Like all the like, it would, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
No. Sure.
yeah. So, I was gonna say quick thing before we get into the episode. I don't think I talked about it last time. But I did watch the new episode of Attack on Titan.
The new movie.
Yeah, the quote unquote movie. It's an hour long. The hour I like to call it an hour episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Are you caught up? Did you read the rest of the manga?
No, I'm gonna wait. I'm wa-
Okay.
I'm not reading the
So
manga. I'm gonna wait.
yeah, so what's funny is that a lot of people who don't follow the manga, they think that Attack on Titan is just going to do this going forward. There's just going to be like a bunch of short movies that they're going to stretch the ending, but the reality is that like it is
If they
like
change the
right.
ending, they could do it.
Yeah, that is one thing they could do. Is that yeah they could, but it's like there's so few chapters left. Um, that I think this is it. Like I think the next movie, the next hour-long movie, I
One of my friends says he doesn't think it can wrap up in an hour.
that's what I'm thinking too. Is that I need to watch this movie because I still don't know how this movie got to that scene within 1 hour. So I need to watch the movie
Yeah.
because if the next one that comes out is the final one, I would be surprised because there are so many things
Well,
that
they can
happen. It's
actually
like
make this next one a movie, right? Like if they actually make this next one like in theaters, and then if they make it like an hour and a half, I think they could do it. Maybe.
yeah, I mean, if it was going to be split into episodes, it's not going to be more than like 5 or 6 episodes. If it's gonna be a
Yeah.
movie, I just don't know how they would do it in like a 1 hour thing.
Well, no,
Because like,
no, I don't count. So here's the thing: I do not count this thing that they put out as a movie because what movie is an hour long?
yeah, that's the
I
thing.
don't
So like,
count it.
that's the
So
thing.
that's what I'm
So
saying. If I would count it as a movie if it's over an hour, like if it's an hour and 20,
yeah,
hour and 30. So maybe that's what they'll do. But we'll see.
if they are to do it in episode format, it's probably gonna be like 5 to 6 episodes. It's not gonna be too long.
And dude, but
Um,
here's the thing: they also said that it was ending this. I thought they said that it was ending this year. So that means
yeah,
it
they put
has
out
to
the
be.
second
And they
part.
said that the second part is coming out in the fall. So it means it has to end this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
So it can't
I
be
mean,
5 more episodes.
no, I'm not gonna. I mean, it's not gonna be like 5 1 hour long episodes. It's gonna be like 5 30 minute episode. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see.
Because I, yeah, because I just don't know how they're gonna do it. But hey, if they can cover it in a in a 1 hour special, then great.
Or here's the
Um,
stupid thing they'll do, right? They'll pit it out, and then they will wait until the next year to do the epilogue.
uh, I mean, the epilogue isn't that long.
They're gonna extend the epilogue.
The well, actually, let me restate this. The epilogue, the official epilogue, isn't that long. It's actually really condensed and short.
Okay.
Um, there is an expanded epilogue,
Yeah.
but
See.
it's hardly worth its own thing. It's not that extra long. Um, like I'm not gonna spoil too much when
Hey,
I say it, but
man.
obviously
They
when
made
we
The
talk when
Hobbit
we
into
talk about
3 movies.
yeah, like obviously when we talk about epilogue, epilogue is what happens in the future. And obviously, like the thing with this epilogue is that the expanded epilogue is that it's not that much expanded into the future. Like it's just
Yeah.
some people think it actually made it worse. Some people think it tried to like we'll just see how the anime does it because apparently the author didn't like the pacing of the epilogue. Um,
Oh, well, then that means
that's
it's
already
definitely changing.
so yeah, maybe they will change it from the ending of the manga. So who knows? Granted, uh, what was it? The I think it's like the fan made ending.
Oh my God,
What
no.
was it? So in one of the fan translation things, where it added the extra pages, um, it I like that ending more than the the unofficial author extended pages ending. I'll put it that way. But granted, it's a fan made ending. I mean, it's whatever. Like the ending
Never
is the
trust
ending.
fan fiction.
Yeah, obviously it is fan fiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like, yeah, it's just some things are weird, man. I'll put it that way. But I haven't watched the full thing. I think the last thing I watched was literally the final season, part one.
Man, you gotta get caught
Uh,
up, man. Are you just
that
waiting
was
till
back in
you're
2020.
just waiting till fall?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm gonna get spoiled because I've seen
I
a bunch of
know.
scenes and I've even seen a bunch of episodes from the other seasons. Like the flashback season where they go through Grisha's memory. I watched that episode. Um, so I think that might be the. Was that the only thing that I saw? I didn't get. It's like a couple of things I've seen from the past. So, yeah, like there is still that I need to watch animated, but I, I'm trying to uh I'm trying to watch other stuff to get this out of my head. So I did watch some live action shows like Jack Ryan, finished that up. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess let's get into the episode here.
Yeah.
Uh,
We should mention that when the special does come out, should we do the live like reaction like that night that the episode is released or the following day?
what, the final episode of Attack on
Attack
Titan?
on Titan. Yeah.
I mean, we could do it the next day, I guess.
Should we give them a 1 hour like should we give everyone like a 1 hour sorry, not 1 hour, like a 1 day period to avoid spoilers, or should it be like a 1 week thing? I feel like
No,
1 day
let's
is
do it the
fine.
next day.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, sounds good. Um,
yeah.
all right, yeah, so, like I said, we're on episode 61, 4 kids. The episode name for me was Boogie Powder.
No. The episode for me, I just had it too. Just 1 second. It is called oh, here it is. Off to the Desert Kingdom, the Rain Summoning Powder, and the Rebel Army.
Dude, once again with the freaking spoilers in the title. All right. Yeah. So the episode opens with Vivi looking out to the sea, scared. Nami asks if she has a plan to stop the revolution, and she says it's not going to be easy. She then says in her head, "How do I tell them we have to trek through the desert?" All of a sudden, we see them prepping to leave the ship after it's docked, I guess, near a desert. Luffy runs out and says, "Let's find a restaurant." As Nami says, hopefully he remembers there's a bounty on his head. They then notice Mr. Three's ship is docked nearby, as Sanji says, "Big deal." Zolo replies with, "You bet it is," as Usopp says he has a plan. Usopp says, "Since we're in town now, we must be sneaky," and he finds this deserted house for them to hide out in. First of all, like this is like the stupidest place I think for them to hide, but whatever. I mean, it's barely a deserted house. There's like one wall. Like how are they
I
really
am,
hiding out?
yeah, I am shocked. I mean, I'm kind of a little amazed at how they changed up the dialogue regarding sneaking into the island and stuff. Because uh, I guess I will kind of do the Funimation
Yeah, go ahead.
translation and the translation. So the reason they were concerned about Mister Three's boat being there is because um, they obviously faced Mister Three in Little Garden, an arc that was completely
Oh
cut
yeah.
from Four Kids, and then I forget if it was Usopp. I think it was Usopp who said that Mr. Three recognizes all our faces because he actually faced us in Little Garden. And then Vivi says that that is uh, Mr. Three's ship. He's the only one who can operate it because his uh, it requires his like wax fruit powers in order to operate. It's kind of like how Smoker uses his
Yeah.
power to run his bike. He uses his wax power to run his ship. So that's why they said that like they have to find a way to disguise themselves to not get recognized in the streets because Mr. Three has seen their faces.
But see, it still works out. It still works out either way because he would like even if you're talking about like the Four Kids way, of course he would know because they have a bounty on their head.
Well, no. Regarding the bounty, the only person that has a bounty on their head is Luffy. And in Luffy's bounty picture, the only person who would need like a costume is Usopp because the back of Usopp's head is on Luffy's poster, so Usopp would need to wear like some sort of headgear. So,
Okay, yeah, but you're telling me none of these people know about any other of his crew that they're traveling with.
no, how would they know?
I don't know, from the other people they fought that didn't die.
Well, oh yeah,
And
like yeah,
from the other members of the thousands, right? Mister the other people.
like here's the thing, like um obviously Mr. Two, the Swan guy, Mr. Two, he's someone that they need to watch out for, and Mr. Three is someone that they need to watch out for. But well, besides them, like they didn't fight any other Baroques or people that like wasn't defeated and left there. Like everyone
What about the spy?
like in Whiskey Peak or Misty Peak, like everyone turns out to be like helping like they like helped out Vivi when Vivi was trying to escape, and then like I forget the snot guy. He came in and like killed all of them. Like him and the Swan Lady, they were sent there to assassinate them because they're not able to do whatever. So, or they were sent there to obviously assassinate Vivi. So it's like all of them are gone. Um, in Little Garden, obviously, you guys don't know anything about that one because Four Kids cut it. Like it was only Mister Three and a little girl, and obviously Mr. Three is there, which is why they need to wear it. But besides that, they didn't face off against Baroque Works in Drum Island, so it's like they haven't like they haven't come in contact with them at all. Like they wouldn't know that like Nami or Sanji or any of them are associated with the Straw Hats.
They wouldn't know that they're associated with the Straw Hats. With their, they don't even
Yeah.
know anything about the ship. No one knows anything about their ship.
Well, the ship is something that people would recognize, but like the people on the ship, they don't know them. Like this would be the first time they would even see the ship. So how would they know the people in the ships?
I'm
Like,
I'm buying I'm buying what Four Kids pitting down. All right, that's all I'm saying.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of a weird reasoning because it's like, what about them would say that, oh, that's a pirate crew? Like Zoro, I get because he's carrying swords, but granted, this is the
They
time
don't
when
look like
people like
pirates.
Nami's just like she's just dressed like a regular girl. She's not dressed in like some like thing that made her look like a pirate. I
Looks
mean,
like a pirate to me.
Sanji is literally dressed like he's like going to work at a fancy place or like a fancy server or something, or going to like a wedding or something. He's always like buttoned down. So it's not like he can be recognized as like a pirate, you know? So it's like I don't know how Four Kids. I mean, I like that they said that. Oh, we should go under so we don't get recognized. But it's like at least Funimation is like, hey, there's this guy who knows we're associated with Luffy, and he's been trying to kill us, so we should cover. But like, yeah, I mean, that's just
Look,
my
what's that stupid bird thing? That's the member
pirate.
of, huh? No, not Kairu.
Oh,
The other thing, the other, I can't even remember what it is. The other,
oh, the cat and the
yeah,
bird.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're telling me they couldn't have informed Mister Three?
Well, or the other agents.
Yeah.
Well, a bit of a spoiler. If Four Kids didn't cut out Little Garden, Sanji killed both of them.
Well, it doesn't. You know what? They didn't die here, so that's what I'm buying.
I guess so. I guess so. Even though they never make another appearance.
But they did. They mentioned them. They mentioned them in the Four Kids that they're still alive already. They didn't mention they're dead. Anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, I
Maybe they'll
mean,
CGI them in. Hopefully.
well, the thing is, so here's the thing. So obviously, the bird and the little, I don't know if it's like
It's
baby
Otter. I thought.
otter. Yeah, sure. Um, so in Little Garden, um, they were sent there to do some assassination. Sent Mr. Three to do an assassination. So Sanji goes in, and he obviously kills them. And then the main antagonist of this arc actually calls them, and Sanji doesn't refer to himself as Sanji. He refers to himself as Mr. Prince. And he says, "Hey, I killed all of them," or something, and all that. So, or I don't know if he says he's Mr. Prince, but yeah, something like that. So, yeah.
He says he killed all of them, but you never see him kill them.
No, you do see Sanji kill the bird and the otter.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not a graphic kill. He just like twists their head.
Oh, that means they could still be alive. They're coming back. Get ready.
Yeah, maybe because Oda has a tendency to not kill people off. That's like a running meme.
Yeah,
He refuses to kill people off.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways,
Okay, in this alternative Four Kids universe, the animals or the bird and the otter are still alive. They pass down the photos of
yeah.
Nami and Zoro and Luffy to everyone. So they need to hide their faces because in this universe they're still alive and they spread the pictures. Okay.
That's what I'm buying.
All right.
So yeah, okay. So Vivi is busy daydreaming as Sanji asks if she's okay. Vivi says it feels like a trick and she's nervous. Zolo asks, "What's the one?" Zolo asks what the one way for them to help out is, and she says that, and says that she needs to stop feeling down and snap out of it. Nami assures her that they wouldn't have traveled all this way if they wanted to leave her in the lurch. Nami says if the country is destroyed, how will they get the payment she promised them? Nami then goes on to say that Zolo owes her about 4 million berries now. Vivi says that the Yuva Oasis is northwest of town, and that's where the rebels are. They will need to cross the desert, but they will have to be careful with Mr. 3 in town. Sanji says, don't worry, he's never met an egg he can't crack. Zolo suggests that he bring Chopper, and Chopper agrees to come with him. Usopp says he's just a little reindeer as Chopper transforms him into deer form. Nami screams, Luffy, wherever you are, you need to get back here. And then it cuts to Luffy. I'll stop here if there's anything that was different.
Well, yeah, so obviously because of this of change in the timeline where characters exist and don't exist. So basically what happens is Mr. 3 and also Mr. 2, funny enough, well, it's mainly Mr. 3. He's never seen Sanji and he wasn't there when they found Chopper, so...
Oh, that's why they go.
Yeah, that's why they split. They're like, okay, so their plan is for Sanji and Chopper to go get the supplies because Mr. 3 doesn't recognize them because he's never met them. And so they're like, okay, so you go get the supplies and we'll go hide out somewhere so that we don't get recognized. So that's why Sanji and Chopper are doing this like thing where they get like a list from Nami about getting clothes, Zoro says, hey, get some food. Nami says, get some clothes.
Yep.
So that we fit in, and because obviously they're visitors and they want to blend into the crowd. And then Nami also said, get some perfume too. So yeah.
So they don't. So the weird, and maybe I missed it because I was too busy taking notes, but I'm pretty sure they just send them out to town, and I'm pretty sure I don't even ever remember her mentioning a list. But here's the crazy thing: they do come back with all that stuff, but I don't ever remember that list part. So maybe they cut that out, or maybe I skipped it or something. But that's strange. But it makes more sense that they would give them a list. Yeah. So it's cut to Luffy now. Luffy says there's not too many restaurants here. But forget that. Where in the world is he? Luffy appears to be lost, but he finds a house in the middle of nowhere and heads off to it. Someone in the town says Sanji must try these deer fish kebabs, as Sanji jokingly offers it to Chopper.
Oh, that's funny. Sanji just shows Chopper the speed, and he says it's venison, and then Chopper's like, no, I don't want it. Cannibalistic kind of thing. Cannibalistic joke right there.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty much the same thing.
Wow, they showed cannibalism.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I mean, it's not cannibalism. It was just like a little cannibal joke.
Yeah. Chopper's nose begins to twitch at the smell of a perfume shop. All of a sudden, we see some girls come out, and Sanji tries to woo them. Chopper pulls them away and reminds him there's shopping to do. Sanji runs off to chase the girls as Chopper continues to walk through the market. Chopper says he's so hot he could get a sunstroke and needs to cool off, and he finds what appears to be like a shed and falls asleep in it. All of a sudden, we find out the shed is more of like a caravan, and it starts disembarking as someone driving it says, if they catch us, we're toast. Anything different here?
No, not too much. Basically, Chopper gets all woozy, and he says, I'm starting to feel the symptoms of a heat stroke. So I have to go find like a place to like lie down, and he hides in this one place. Oh, it doesn't hide. He just goes to the shady spot. And then we see these guys come in, close it, and say we can't get caught, and they close and take off again.
Okay, so it cuts back to Luffy. He starts yelling at the door and says, "Look like no one's home." He then notices an empty water barrel and a bag of what he calls green sugar. He takes a taste and says it tastes like powdered barf. He then sees an oven and decides to burn it all up. All of a sudden, we see a big green cloud of smoke as it begins to rain. Luffy opens his mouth to suck up the water as a man comes out of the shed asking where his powder is. Luffy tells him he burned it, as the man said he spent a fortune on it and has this has shattered his dreams. He begins swinging his sword at Luffy, but Luffy dodges. Luffy says, "Just get more powder," as the man says, "How will he when it's against the law?" Luffy says, "So you are a crook," as the man raises his sword. Then it cuts back to Chopper. Anything different from this encounter?
No, pretty much. I mean, obviously, dialogue's a slight different, but it's pretty much the same.
Okay. Then Chopper wakes up in the moving caravan and looks out to see people driving it. The Chuckwag. Yeah, go ahead.
Did the guy did the guy sound? Did he have an accent?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Chopper then wakes up in the moving caravan, looks out to see people driving it. Chuckwagon hits a bump, and bright green rifles are seen as Chopper screams rifles. Are they bright green?
No, I mean they were just regular wooded rifles, like with
Okay.
wood and stuff.
Well, they made them bright green in this, like almost like army men, like like the little like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
toy
yeah.
soldier things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Wow, so they actually showed guns. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
But it's all right. They painted them unrealistic colors. One of the drivers says he thought he heard a voice as Chopper says he better leave now. Chuckwagon stops and they decide to open it and look, only to discover Chopper laying down. One of the men says, "You brought a dead reindeer to eat?" The man goes to his boss and says he picked up some weapons in town. His boss said, "This land is in deep trouble, but 300,000 of the royal forces have joined up with the rebels, and they have good men, but not nearly enough firepower or food, but their day will come." All of a sudden, the guy goes to look for the reindeer, only to find out that it's gone. We then discover the the thing that's steering the caravan is a camel, and that the camel has helped save Chopper by hiding him on his back and walking him out to the desert. Chopper says he's weird but cool, and he hopes he gets to see him again sometime. And I just gotta say, this camel is probably like one of the best characters now. I cannot wait to see him again.
Yeah. So real quick, the scene where the guy, so there is a scene where the guy goes to a guy in like a tented room lying down, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's when he's
Did they
talking about
have
the
an accent?
rebels. Huh?
Yeah. So did they have any accent?
No.
Oh, reason I ask is like obviously the thing about Alabasta is and Vivi is because like it has like a very Egyptian feel, you know. So like with like with the costumes that you see girls wear and stuff. So I was wondering if they added accents to them.
No, they
Um,
didn't. There's no like stereotypical accents. They're actually just like normal voices.
so one of the things Funimation did, I think they started to do kind of recently, is that they started to give accents based on the inspiration behind a country.
Uh-huh.
For instance, like in the Dressrosa arc,
So
Dressrosa,
Luffy now has a Brazilian accent?
no, 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 no,
They
no,
didn't change Luffy.
no, no. It's the location. Like so, Dressrosa. This is like way past Wano and stuff. Sorry, way past Alabasta. Um, so Dressrosa is this island that they go to, and it has a very Spanish vibe, a Spanish culture in that thing. So what they decided to do is because it has a lot of Spanish kind of inspiration and stuff, they the new characters introduced in that arc, they gave them like a Spanish accent. They speak like the Spaniards do. Like how like
Yeah.
Spanish people from Spain have speak with like a lisp or something with the words. Like rather than saying calling a place Barcelona, they call it Barcelona, or Garcia as Garcia, kind of like that. They add like that kind of like they add minor details like that into the accent. So I guess this is something they decided to do going forward with the anime. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how much they're gonna do it. Um, because Wano is based on Japan, so I think they're gonna do like a Japanese accent. But yeah, it's like with Dressrosa they did it. So with certain characters, they are starting to give accents based on the country inspiration behind that character, kind of thing. Um, so maybe in retrospect, they would have given um, what's her name from the first episode, the pirate lady. You know how like she has like a weird Southern accent.
Yeah.
Maybe in a Funimation retrospect, they give her Alvida. Maybe they give her like a Texas accent, like they did, like the Four Kids one did. Obviously, in the Funimation original, they didn't, but
Yeah.
maybe in retrospect they did. But I don't know. I just thought it was. That's why I was wondering. Like, yeah, in the Funimation dub for Alabasta, yeah, everybody has like a normal accent, but I was wondering if Four Kids decided to give them like some Middle Eastern accent because it has a lot of Middle Eastern kind of vibes with all the sand around that place, you know. So
Yeah, as this Four Kids has gone on, they've gotten less and less like with the crazy accents. I think I don't even
okay,
remember who it was, but I guess one of the members of the Baroque Works kind of had like a French type accent, but yeah, it seems like they've gotten less like accent heavy.
yeah, yeah. Hmm. Now that you mention Baroque works,
I don't
let me
remember.
see if that. Oh no, it's just Baroque has a very a Spanish vibe to it, doesn't it? Like the word Baroque.
Yeah,
I just wonder, but I don't know. This is something totally unrelated to the Four Kids one. It's more like fan theories kind of thing that I'm kind of like going into. So yeah. But yeah, I was just wondering. So yeah, go ahead. I think you said it shifted to. Oh yeah. So the camel. So it was just Chopper said that the camel was weird and funny and cool. Like Chopper
yeah.
just said that. Like the. Well, so the Chopper doesn't say that. He's actually translating it. Like so, like in the Funimation one,
No,
it's
yeah.
obviously
Chopper
like
says, yeah, yeah, because the the camel is yeah, the camel, you don't hear the camel's voice. The camel is talking, is just
yeah, the
making
camel or
grunts.
the
Yeah.
yeah the Chopper is speaking for the camel when he said he's cool. Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure because yeah, like because yeah, it's like the camel says something and then Chopper translates it into human speak where he says. I like because Chopper asks him, "Hey, why did you do this for me?" He's like, "I have no reasons. I just did it because I'm cool." Like Chopper says that the camel says this. He just says, "I did this because I'm cool" or something like that. So Chopper's like, "Yeah, you are cool," and yeah, and yeah,
So you're saying that Chopper does not say he hopes he gets to see him again sometime? That's what the camel is saying?
no. Chopper says that. No, Chopper
Okay.
is the one who says that.
Okay. All right. Um, yeah. So next, it cuts back to Luffy, next to the guy that threatened him, and the guy's all beat up. Luffy says sorry, as the guy says it's okay. He then tells him that the powder was called Boogie powder, and that's what caused the rain. The guy goes on to say it lets you create rainfall for nothing. Luffy says, "Why make rain?" As the guy says, "They've battled against drought since the ancient times, and they never have enough water." Luffy says, "Why can't they just make more powder?" The guy says they can't because the government bans it. Luffy says, "You want to use buggy powder to save the people?" The guy says, "No, he wanted to make money by making water." Luffy says he should open up a restaurant, as the guy says, "Don't tell anyone about this," and he'll make him food. Luffy agrees. He walks into the desert saying he can't report him anyway because he's a pirate. Um, and then it cuts back to Nami and Vivi. I'll let you say if anything was different here.
So I mean, a lot of it was similar. So basically, scene cuts back to the guy with like bumps on his head to show that Luffy beat him up,
Yeah.
and then yeah, he mentions that it's rain powder, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, do you know about it? He's like, even if you explain it, I probably won't understand. And the guy and Luffy, uh, like laugh, and then Luffy just punches the guy, saying, hey, uh, uh, be more respectful towards me or something. And then the guy goes on to explain what rain powder is, and they speed it up, and Luffy's like, "Yeah, okay, 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 okay."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "So it's a magic powder," and the guy is like, "Hey, so you actually understood?" And he's like, "Hey, stop disrespecting me," or something.
Yeah, they
And
did
then
that too, and I just thought it was stupid. I didn't think it was funny. I just thought it was stupid. That's why I didn't even
yeah,
explain it. I'm just like,
I
why?
mean,
Why? I'm like, how does? I'm just like, why does this guy think Luffy is so stupid? Like, I get it, but like, I get that Luffy can be stupid sometimes, but like, how does this guy know that he's stupid? I don't
I
know.
mean, I think it's a fact that he put hit it in his mouth,
Yeah, I
put
guess
the
so.
powder in
Yeah.
his mouth, and then just tossed it in the flames.
But the thing is he's not going to be stupid enough not to know that like it caused rain. Like how he's not that dumb.
No, he is. He
No,
legit probably didn't even know that the powder caused the rain.
I don't. I'm not buying it.
Oh, dude, Luffy's stupidity is like something that is stressed often.
I'm not
Um,
buying it.
no,
Because
like
he says he knew it.
so. Let me explain the level of Luffy's stupidity, because we're not gonna get this in Four Kids anyways. There is this, and fans also do like a fun play along with it. There is this one moment where someone puts on a mask. Everyone in that room knows who the guy is who's in the mask, except Luffy. Luffy is like, oh, he's like a guy I don't recognize. He's a completely new guy, and everyone else quickly has to yell at him, saying, "No, this is the guy," and he's like, "What?" And yeah, and there is another, and there is one of the crew members wears a mask, and I don't know if they ever actually told Luffy that the crew member is actually the guy behind the mask, because Luffy for the longest time thought it was a new guy, like a different guy completely. So
Okay.
Luffy's stupidity is something that they emphasize over and over and over. Even after the time skip, they emphasize his stupidity.
Okay. I guess it's not that out of the ordinary then.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like Luffy was found in a barrel in the first episode. He started with a ship when he left, and he was found in a barrel. Like, yeah,
Okay. We.
yeah. So
So then it cuts back to Nami and Vivi. They're trying on their new clothes from the desert as Sanji is in awe at their skimpy clothes. Chopper has come back by now and is laying on the ground, and he can't stand, saying that he cannot stand the smell of perfume. Vivi goes on to say that reindeer noses are sensitive. Nami asks how much further they need to go into the desert, as she says it. As Vivi says, it's not that far, but it'll be dangerous. Vivi says she's begging them one more time to help her, that she needs them to come with her one more time. Zolo says, ocean, desert, all the same to me, as Usopp says, all right, let's march to battle right now. And then the episode ends.
So do they actually show them in the skimpy thing with
Yes,
the
they do.
bras and like exposed belly?
Yep.
Oh wow! So they didn't cover up anything?
Nope.
Wow.
I'm telling you, man,
So
4 Kids is getting lazier and lazier by the minute.
it's probably the thing that eventually led to them stopping One Piece's downfall, like was them stopping One Piece, because we are in the last official canon arc that Four Kids cover. Like, like I know we're in like episode 60, and what there are 105 episodes, right? Um, but this arc is kind of big. It is a big arc. Um, but this is the last arc of One Piece Four Kids, and then there's some filler that you guys do cover. Um, but it's like, yeah, this is actually the last canon arc that Four Kids covers. So we're in that. So just wanted to just wanted to give the heads up on that. That like we're there. Like we're in the like everything that happens after this is not canon at all. It's just extra. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, this is also officially the first episode of the start of 4 Kids season 4.
How many seasons does Four Kids have? Like, is season 4 the last season?
No, there's season 5, and I don't remember now. There might be one more, but this is like the longest of the final seasons.
Okay, then the next one might be like filler episodes because yeah, this is the last one. From what I remember, they don't do it past. They don't cover the next arc, which is Skypiea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that yeah, like basically yeah, they have the skimpy outfits. Chopper is still that, and then Nami teases Chopper by spraying the perfume a little more because Chopper doesn't like it. So yeah.
All right, so it ends the same.
Yeah, basically, the dialogue is pretty much the same. Although Vivi does sort of complain about how like the costume is very skimpy. She talks about how these are for dance girls. Do they
Yes.
mention anything about dance girls?
Yes, they do. Yes, she says the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and like Sanji is all like all lovey-dovey, hearts in his eyes, and Vivi's like, yeah, this is not gonna change. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And just a correction to what I said earlier, it is I can't confirm it is 5 seasons. There's a total of 78 episodes oh no, 104 episodes. Yeah. And 78 only aired on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, only 78.
Aired on TV. I guess the rest were on the DVD releases or whatever. Or in a different area.
Okay, so let's remember that 78 number because I am intrigued as to see like when they stop airing it on TV. So yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that is it for this episode. Hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep, thanks.
Yep. Later.